Hello and namaste. This is Tim Halloran with a weekly astrology forecast. This one for the first week of February 2014. Today is Sunday the 2nd. The sun is in Aquarius. The moon is in Pisces. Tonight she'll enter Aries. Wednesday she moves into Taurus. And then Thursday we have that first quarter moon. And Thursday we also have Mercury turning retrograde. Venus just turned direct a few days ago. Mercury just entered Pisces. We had the new moon in Aquarius on Thursday, January 30th. And happy Chinese New Year. It is the year of the wooden horse, and we're about to get on this horse and ride. So I've been hearing from a lot of people that we've been feeling the shifting going on. It's like a lot of stuff's changing. We have a planet changing signs, two planets changing directions. And we had some pretty big aspects going on with this Venus retrograde. We had Jupiter exactly opposite Pluto right now, Jupiter exactly opposite Venus. You know, there's some big stuff going on beneath the surface. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about this Jupiter being opposite to Pluto with Venus. The entire month of January, Venus was moving retrograde into the underworld. We were going really deep in our relationships, in our friendships, in love. You know, even intimacy, sexuality, all these things, you know, were coming up. It was quite intimate, quite personal. It is still, you know. And now Venus has reached this critical time. This is a culminative time. That's why it can feel this way. It's the energy culminating and shifting. And realizations are made. You know, this is Jupiter opposite Pluto, both square to Uranus. You know, Venus just got deeper and deeper and deeper. We could have been asking questions, you know, like I feel this thing, I want to know what it is, you know. I feel like I need to change my relationships. I feel like I need to change my friendships. I feel like there's something in myself that needs to change, having to do with these things. And now, with this Jupiter opposite Pluto being square to Uranus, it's like we could be surprised what has come up. A veil has been lifted. And it could have been something that we have totally missed before in the past. So let's use an example here. It's like you ask somebody out on a date and they said no. And you were feeling really weird about it. You were looking in yourself and you said like, oh my gosh, I feel insecure now. I feel weird about this. I need to make some changes. I need to get a new haircut, you know. I need to, this girl wasn't interested in me because I'm unattractive or something like that. And then, you know, like Venus could have gone down and down. We were doing all this introspection and looking at ourselves, and then Venus conjunct Pluto turns direct. Everything changes. It's like all of a sudden someone tells us, oh yeah, that girl's a lesbian. And it's just like, what? It like changes everything. It's like we could be shocked. We could be confused. It's like we don't even know what to process. Like I just spent the whole last month like really feeling all this stuff, and you mean to say that it wasn't even that? You know, it could be just like, I always hated my dad. He acted like such an asshole in this way, and like all these events always happen in my life, and then some family member drops, oh my gosh, did you hear the story about this super huge traumatic event that happened to your father, when? And that's the why he is the way he is. And it's just like, what? The veil has been lifted, and it's just like, I have no, and everything has changed, you know? Now it's interesting because Mercury is going to go retrograde on Thursday, move back through Pisces into Aquarius, and it's just like, now the mind is like, what? It can be confused, and now the mind is like going back and trying to catch up and going back into the past and looking at all these events between you and your dad, and you're just like, it's different now. It's in a totally new light. You thought it was one way, and now it's like everything has changed. And this could be, you know, part of what this new moon in Aquarius is. You know, we're discovering parts of ourself, very core parts of ourself. It has to do with our role, our expression in the community. All these things are shifting around right now. Venus and Mercury changing directions, you know, it feels like we get thrown off, you know, the energy's shifting. It's like a DJ scrubbing on a record. It's like everything gets thrown off and it's weird. That's what these planets are doing, changing direction. So tomorrow the moon enters Aries, is going to conjunct Uranus and square Jupiter, Pluto, and Venus again, you know, another look back, you know, and it's the year of the horse, you know. All this stuff is changing because like the last year has been very introspective. You know, the moon's nodes are about to change. You know, that's long-term stuff. The moon's nodes have been in South Node in Taurus, North Node in Scorpio for the last 2 years. And now it's on the cusp. North Node's going to move from Scorpio into Libra. We're moving from earth and water to air and fire. There's that whole shift happening. And Mercury moving retrograde the next month is going to affect those moon's nodes. So there is a lot of shifting going on. And we are getting on the horse. You know, we've made some major discoveries internally, and that's going to change what's happening externally. So like the internal Venus retrograde, it's like, yeah, now I see this relationship has to change. Or yeah, now I see this relationship is working out, because we've been like trying to figure out what the missing thing is, and maybe we both were coming at it from the wrong angle. Maybe we both missed something internally, and now the veil has been lifted, and it's just like, oh my gosh. You know, it wasn't this thing, it was something totally different, and that's okay. Or maybe we've been pretending and avoiding that it's something that does need to change. Now we're just like, oh, okay, well, this isn't healthy, you know? I've been hanging around these friends, and I've been feeling this darkness, and every time I hang out with them, I feel like I'm lowering my energy, and it's just like, is this friendship really, you know, healthy? You know, we're always drinking all the time, and it makes me feel weird. And it's just like Venus conjunct Pluto opposite Jupiter. You know, this is not always easy aspect for everybody what they're experiencing. This could have been like, my friend's got in a drunk driving accident, and now they're in the hospital, and it's like, holy shit, I was right the whole time. This isn't healthy. They're in the hospital. I need to change this. I need to cut this out of my life. Mercury retrograde happening on Thursdays when he goes stationary retrograde. He's in the shadow phase right now. He's slowing down, so things are, you know, things are getting thrown off a little bit. Things are changing direction, and we can feel all that. So, you know, it's good. Let's get out of the January, you know, really hard work. You know, this month is going to have a lot to do with expression, a lot to do with finding our role. So again, getting on the horse, it's getting external now, it's getting extroverted. You know, we've been digging deep and facing a lot of challenges in January. That's what we talked about last week, all these challenges. It was hard, it was like break back work, and that was revealing to us our inner strength. And now that we're strong and we're revitalized, we can get on that horse and charge. Oh, I know my shit now. The veil has been lifted. I figured it out. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's get this stuff done. I'm not going to just like contemplate it forever. With a little bit of the Mercury retrograde, we might still be contemplating some things. But, you know, dream. You know, the Mercury being on the cusp of Aquarius and Pisces, this is brilliance, you know. There's a lot of energy, you know, it's intense because a lot can happen very quickly. You know, even if it's an extremely painful event, you know, this could be, you know, enlightening expansiveness doesn't always come through what seems comfortable and pleasant sometimes. So even if we're in a lot of difficulty right now, we can know because the transits are saying, oh yeah, these are the big players, Jupiter, Pluto, Uranus, these are transformative planets. These planets are saying you're going to learn, you're going to grow, you're going to expand. Everything in the universe is actually growing and learning and expanding. Everything, even the stuff that seems really dark and hellish, is there in the service of growth and expansiveness and learning and evolution. We're moving towards love. Love requires heartbreak. Heartbreak is not fun always. It hurts really bad, but that heartbreak is there for the softening of that heart. That way that heart gets stronger. That way it gets softer. It expands more. Love grows through heartbreak, actually. So all these things are actually in the service of the big league stuff. Enlightening, love, growth, expansiveness. So let's roll with it, you know? The tempo's changing, and that's okay. Keep dancing with it. You know, the energy's shifting. It's really gonna be good. You know, it is a lightening this month from the last one, so good things through and through. And I'm wishing you the very best. Jig with it. It's going to be a full moon in Leo in a few weeks. It's going to be about doing your thing, coming out of the box, letting the cat out of the bag, you know, get into it, be yourself, be true, stick to your truth, and I'll be talking to you next week. Namaste.